For the best prices and service on Pokemon TCG singles and products, check out ccgcastle.com and use promo code Evolutionaries-5 for 5% off your next order.
What's up, guys? Ed here, and welcome to Deck Tech Thursday, where you see us profile all decks and all stuff like that. And today's deck is going to be Alolan Ninetales from the new Guardians Rising set. Now, this was basically due to the work of Shadow TCG and his top placing Ninetales list from locals recently, and it's a really good deck. And the list that he came up with was just, it did very well. It could fight just about anything out there. And with the new Tapu Koko promo, it just works so much better. So, without me bragging about this deck any longer, gotta get right into it. So, first off, we've got our 4 Alolan Vulpix and our 3 Alolan Ninetales. Now, I'm gonna talk about the Ninetales in a second, but normally for the pre-evolved Pokemon, they're literally just there to evolve. But I gotta say, this Alolan Vulpix could do some work too. Because right there, its first attack, Beacon, you search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon, and you put them into your hand. Which, that's pretty cool, and especially the fact that that's its free attack. So, you could literally attach something to your bench to set up, and still use Beacon if you're going second. So that's really good, helps you get set up for the next turn. And now the main event here is going to be the Alolan Ninetales GX, 210 HP water Pokemon, with... honestly, all these attacks are good. First one is going to be Ice Blade for a double color. Does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Can be either the active or the bench, doesn't matter. And the same rule as always, you don't apply weakness or resistance to the bench. But still, being able to do 50 damage anywhere, that's really good. And also the next attack is pretty good too. Blizzard Edge for 2 water and colors does 160, which at first may not seem a lot, but remember too, we have Choice Band now. So against almost everything, that's doing 190. Not to mention we have Aqua Patch to put back that energy, so it's just really insane. And the GX attack for double colors is also pretty good. Ice Path. You move all damage counts from this Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's basically, it's almost like Mewtwo's damage change, except better. Because even if they have damage, you could still add more damage to them while healing yourself completely. So that's really good as well. Not to mention, 1 retreat cost. Weak to metal, yes, but there's not really any metal going around right now, so it's definitely a really good Pokemon all around, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna get to the Pokemon that are gonna help support him. First up, as I said, we have the 2 of the new Tapu Koko promos here, with the attack Flying Flip. For double colors, you do 20 to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So you start off with just a couple Flying Flips, and then the cool thing in this is that's free retreat. So you can just retreat to your Alolan Ninetales once that's set up, and now do your Blizzard Edges or Ice Blades to start sniping things. So really good overall Pokemon. I definitely recommend picking up the boxes whenever you guys can as quick as possible, because I can guarantee at first these are going to sell out. And also, speaking of the Island Guardians here, we have 2 copies of Tapu Lele GX. You bench the pretty little bro down, and then you search your deck for a supporter. Any supporter you want. So it's basically Jirachi, but it's got much more HP. That 170 looking nice. Not to mention, you can use the attack energy drive. 20. It's the same thing as Lugia's Arrow Ball, Mewtwo's X Ball. 20 for each energy attached to both Lele and your opponent's active. You can apply weakness to it, which stinks, but you also don't have to. You don't apply resistance either. So the Metal and Dark Pokemon, they don't get the resistance against this. And I can tell you guys right now, I have taken prizes with Lele. I have taken prizes with Lele. And so that's why I love Lele so much. Also got 1 copy of Shaymin here, just because drawing cards is still nice. But Lele, at least to me, Lele is the superior choice. And last but not least, we have 1 copy of Glaceon EX, just to help with those evolution matchups, because a lot of evolution decks have gained a lot of power from Guardians Rising. Not to mention a lot of evolution Pokemon from the set are really good. So Glaceon would be a good choice there. And with that, that does it for our Pokemon lineup. Gonna go into our supporter lineup right now. 2, 3, 4 copies of Professor Sycamore. Standard Reason, discard, hand draw 7. Most basic supporter. Along with 2 copies of N. Now, what's crazy is that N is going up a lot in price now again. Like, any copy of N, whether it be the older or the newer, they're at minimum they're going for $3 each. So I would definitely try to pick these up if you guys can, as quick as possible, just because I don't think they're going to be going down in price anytime soon. Next up here, we've got 2 copies of Lysander, also another standard choice, being able to bring up something from your opponent's bench. Though, unfortunately, it looks like we're losing him come rotation. Sad face. And it looks like we'll also be losing this wonderful Hex Maniac, which is also amazing. Shutting down all the abilities out there is just too good. So we have 1 copy of Skyla. Now, all this stuff here can be searched with Tapu Lele, but a really cool combo that Shadow showed me was you benching on the Lele, going for a Skyla, and going for an item you might need that turn to just really help turn the tide against the game. Or you go Lele and you go Pokemon Fan Club. Now, the reason Pokemon Fan Club started to show up in decks now is because of the new Garbodor, which deals 20 damage for each item in your discard. So obviously you don't want to always Ultra Ball when that matchup comes. So being able to get down a Lele, getting Fan Club out, and be able to search for 2 of your basics that you need, really good without having to use the item. Not to mention another the combo goes further with this by doing that and also using the Alolan Vulpix attack beacon to search even more Pokemon. And if they don't end you, you've got everything you need right then and there. So definitely a card I recommend start putting in decks, because that new Garbodor is going to be nasty. No pun intended, but yeah. So that will do it for the supporter lineup. And now for the item lineup. 2, 3, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, standard stuff, discard 2, look for Pokemon. And also 4 copies of VS Seeker. On this, I really hope this gets reprinted in Burning Shadows, because VS Seeker has become so important for all decks out there. Like, this was like probably one of the biggest meta changers that ever came within I want to say it's been I can't name the exact amount of years, but this was like a huge meta changer right here. Like, this changed how you build decks. Ever since it came out, it came back out in Phantom Forces, it permanently changed how we made decks. So that's why I'm really hoping that this sticks around. Alright. Next up for our 4 of here, 4 copies of Aqua Patch. Now, Aqua Patch is going not just Alolan Ninetales, but this is going to make so many water decks relevant again. Praise the Primal Fish. That's not a spoiler at all. Not at all. But no, yeah. For those of you who remember, we used to have a card called Dark Patch, which lets you attach a basic Dark Energy from your discard to one of your bench Dark Pokemon. Now, this is literally the same thing, except it's water. So, that's really amazing. And that's why we run the Ultra Balls here instead of the Dive Balls, because we use that to discard the energy, search for the Pokemon, then play Aqua Patch to get that energy right back. So, just incredible. Like, Dark Patch, when it came out, made Dark decks practically tier 0. And we didn't really have much options for Dark Pokemon back then. Now, not only do we have a tier-breaking item for Water Pokemon, we've got some pretty dang good Water Pokemon, guys. Far outside of Alolan Ninetales, we've got a lot of good Water Pokemon, so all I gotta say is, Volcanion, you in trouble. You in trouble, buddy. Alright. So, just gonna move these to the side here and go into more items. Got 3 copies here of Choice Band and 2 copies of Floatstone. Now, more often than not, you're gonna attach the Choice Band to the Alolan Ninetales, because worst case scenario, 1 retreat really isn't bad. The Floatstones are more or less for just, say, your Tapu Leles, for example, or Glaceon if you really wanted to. So these would be the only ones I would even say it for, because Shaman's got 1 retreat cost, Alolan Ninetales has the 1 retreat cost, Tapu Koko has no retreat cost, so yeah, it would. My preference would be these 2 that you would attach your Water Energy to. Water Energy. Floatstone too. But mainly Tapu Lele. But Choice Band on a Lele works really well too. So, there's that as well. Where you choose to attach your Floatstones is entirely up to you, but I do not recommend the Ninetales. Alright, so now we're going to our 1 of items here. We've got 1 Enhanced Hammer, 1 Rescue Stretcher, and 1 Field Blower. Now these all also go off of the Lele Skyla combo, to where you could search any of the one specific item that you need at the time, whether it be the enhanced hammer to get rid of a DCE your opponent has, a rescue stretcher to get some Pokemon in your hand or back in the deck, or if your opponent has some really annoying stadiums and tools and you can't do anything about it, you've got Field Blower. That's completely searchable with Skyla, so it's been a really good combo. He's actually been kicking my butt with this deck with this combo, so I figured, why not? Yeah, that's another reason I chose to get his list from him, not just the fact that he did well in the local. Alright, next up here for our stadiums, just very standard, we got 3 copies here of Rough Seas. Now, once this rotates, I don't think that's really going to hurt the deck all that much, because by then we should have Burning Shadows, and who knows what stuff's coming out in that set. But even if no good stadium comes out for it, I still think we'll be okay. Worst case scenario, we also have Parallel City, so yeah, nothing to worry about stadium-wise after rotation. And last but not least, our items. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 water energy, and 4 double colorless energy. And like that, that is going to conclude the deck profile of Alolan Ninetales. Now, hopefully I can do at least decent tomorrow against Professor K's Greninja deck, but who knows? Who knows for sure? So stick around tomorrow for Battle Frontier Friday to find out for sure. So, if you guys enjoyed this little deck profile video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And stick around, because we got pretty awesome videos just about every single day of the week. 365, 24/7. So, this has been Ed with the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and I'll catch you guys later.